Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. I am sure some of you are surprised to hear my voice, but this is a very detailed video, and some things need to be explained with our voices. We hope you enjoy.
together. You could call it a vision or a tether. All at once I can see it put back together. You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision.
one right here, right?
Correct. I wish more YouTubers told you how hard it is to get insurance, but we'll fill you in on our process. We searched through many companies, Roamly being the most affordable and also accepted DIY conversion. But after receiving a quote, we were told our vehicle is too old. They only service vans under 20 years of age. So Roamly was a no, along with many other companies that only insured professionally built conversions. We finally came across State Farm, who accepted our van no matter the conversion process, but at a very expensive cost per month. For now, they are our only option, so we will make do until we find a more affordable company. But what exactly does the insurance cover? We receive full premium insurance including liability, collision, comprehensive personal injury protection, and many other benefits. Keep in mind that insurance rates vary based on your state and county. So make sure you look into insurance before choosing your van. We wish we did.